Good morning, random stranger, or whatever time it is where you are. Also, happy Chinese New Year to those of you who celebrate that. I am very happy that you're here because today we're going to be kickstarting off a brand new series, new to me at least, Aria the Animation. If this is your first time here on this channel as well, a big welcome to you also. You'll notice very quickly that I like to gab on a bit at the start and also at the end of these reactions. However, I do know that not everyone is here for that. So if you do want to just skip right to the anime reaction, you can do that using the timestamps that I put in the description down below. We also have a Discord we'd love for you to join. It can get kind of wild in there, and I mean that in the best possible way. Otherwise, feel free to leave comments to let me know what you think about the episodes that we watch. I love getting different perspectives, and I say it every time I start a new show, but this community is really good at starting some really interesting conversations and sharing very cool thoughts about a whole variety of different topics, and I'm kind of excited to see what Aria will bring about. So Aria the Animation, what do I know about it? Very little, as per usual with any new show. From what you guys have told me, it has some amazing music, which I'm very much looking forward to because I am a great appreciator of beauty in auditory form. I know it's set in the distant future. I'm just not exactly sure how far into the future and what kind of world we're being dropped into. From the image that I used to create the thumbnail with, it looks a bit more grainy than the other animes that I've watched, but I guess that just reflects the year it was made in, which I think was 2005. But that's okay because I think, there are probably a lot of hidden gems amongst slightly older animes. But the gondolas and the sort of Venetian vibes I'm getting look very promising because I loved Venice when I was there, despite what anyone says about it being this giant tourist trap, because objectively it is a very beautiful city. So if this series takes place in a similar kind of setting, I think I'm going to be pretty happy. Okay guys, it is time to dive right into episode 1 of season 1 of Aria the Animation. I am very excited. If you guys are ready to do this, let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. What is that? Okay. Oh, that is a beautiful piece of prime real estate. Okay, I'm assuming that's a futuristic cat. Is it a machine? Imagine having that view every single morning. I have the cat ears as well. Wait, the cat's a president? This music. Oh, yum. This is so soft and domestic. This music is beautiful. Oh, Oh my gosh, that going up that pentatonic scale. I'm sorry. Oh my god, this OP song. She kind of has an airy tone to her voice as well. I am in love with this place. There even renewable energy. Undine. Oh my god, I just have to say that OP. I need to listen to it like stat again. Okay, so these two girls live together. They're a gondola company. Akatsuki. Who is this bozo? Oh, those sideburns. Oh, they're not. Look at that view of the city in the background. Oh, this is such a. I mean, it's very early, but this is so relaxing. Neo-Venezia. Yo, this is like a steampunk sci-fi chill anime. Oh my god. So she is from Earth. Aqua is the new planet. And Neo-Venezia is the city. Okay. 15 is pretty young. Oh my gosh. That is super scary. They're literally just sitting on seats. Hmm. Okay, so Undine is the gondola person who operates the gondola. Oh, so she's like an apprentice. Also, I like how her clothes are matched to the cat's. Shut. I cannot get over how pretty that house is. That is ridiculous. So this is literally like a recreation of Venice on another world. This girl is trouble. She's so scary. Those eyes. Even their oars are color coded. Oh, that ocean. Okay, so she's not that great at it yet. Oh, look at the detail in those buildings, like even the chipped walls and stuff. When can I move here? Speaking of slow, I feel like this is the kind of show where you're meant to just appreciate the relaxing pace. Man home. Everything is so detailed. Akari. Oh, that's confusing. Himeya. It's really curious because I'd assumed that it was a completely new city, but the buildings look so old. Unless they modeled it, just duplicated the Venice back on Earth. Aika. She looks tough. Does everyone's name in this city start with AI? That's gonna be hard to keep track of. Oh, these bossa vibes. I guess it's sort of like, I don't know, hero worship? Some kind of celebrity crush? Oh, so that was her company. 150 years. Oh. Seems like everyone has their own gondola. It's a beautiful archway. Oh, what is that? That is pretty crazy. Out of all the sci-fi series I've watched, this is possibly the most developed terraforming project ever. Oh, that's her line. Okay. I feel like we're watching like a Van Gogh painting. What's that symbol on the wall? Oh, it is a baked potato. I love potatoes. That looks so good. I really like how the backgrounds, they're sort of like, look like they're watercolored or some kind of brush stroke. Like, look at how the trees are painted. I am loving this soundtrack already. Come on, I mean, classical guitar. She a speedster. Oh, by mistake. How? Okay, so Akari is like a bit of a klutz. It's like she probably learned to do this backwards because she couldn't figure out front from back. This looks like some kind of military ship. Oh, what a shot. Oh, her voice. Ara Ara. So Alicia is what Akari is trying to become. I really like the mix of acoustic piano and then now you've got like the keyboard, sort of muffly, really sweet keyboard. Nice pastel colors. Kind of lends a really dreamlike quality to this show. Hmm. Oh. Violin. This is such a tranquil little city. Just nice little life lessons tucked in here. Beautiful piano. I have fallen in love with the city too. It's crazy. It's only been one episode. Oh, she made a friend. Mm. How long does it take? I don't know. It must at least be a few years, right? Oh, so she fixed their relationship with the gondola ride. I really like all those shots of the surface of the water. Oh, is this an ending song? Is that it? It's so soft and breezy. It sounds like the same girl who sings the OP. Really like this artwork. Like it's not as sharp as some other animes, but I don't know, it just sort of evokes this really relaxed feeling when you look at the way things are drawn. The blurriness or like the brushiness of the backgrounds actually really work, oddly enough. I feel really. Oh, look at that nice wine bar. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel really warm and fuzzy inside after like 20 minutes of watching this. Okay. Oh. Oh, it's the next episode. Okay, we'll leave that for just in a couple of minutes. I just want to say before we move on, I don't know. First of all, the soundtrack for this show is already incredible in my mind. There were so many uses of. It's really like a nice orchestral, soft orchestral track. Sometimes it was just piano when in the more contemplative moments. Sometimes it was just like a sweet keyboard, and there was a violin in there as well, which I really appreciated. The opening song as well, I'm really looking forward to watching that over and over again because there's some really interesting things happening in the melody line that I would love to pick apart. But overall, just really initial thoughts. I don't know if this show is going to be to everyone's taste. Like I can see some people being like, "Oh my gosh, it's so boring. Nothing really happened." But I was very impressed with one, that it's a deliberate setting of a slow pace, that you're meant to appreciate the town and all the little details you see in the gondolas and the buildings and the alleyways and just the entire town, how it's set out. Plus also the deeper little nice lessons about life, like how it takes work to make certain miracles happen. Like sometimes it's not that you love something right away. Sometimes it takes effort in order to truly find someone that you treasure. Like all relationships, right? They take a lot of work. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's just these little gems of wisdom that aren't overly in your face, but they do a really good job of integrating it into the overall story. All right, let's go on to episode 2. All right, let's go on to episode 2. If you guys are good, let's do it in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, is that the other company's cat? Do they each have one? It's wearing the red uniform. Everything about this world is pristine. It's slightly strange. That is such a strange laptop. It's very cool. I guess they would have issues with flooding every now and then. Ah, this OP. Even the lyrics are super chill, designed to put you at ease. Oh, so actually they just play the OP over the episode. So every time it's different. Interesting. Aqua Alta. Oh. I mean, in our world, that would be cause for like widespread panic and economic meltdown. But I guess here it's like, oh, it's a nice day to take off. Uh, I love that we get these different scenery shots as the OP plays every time. I mean, no one's panicking that the entire city is flooded. No one panics in the city full stop ever. Just always smiling. Oh, so it's like a marking of the passing of a season. That's nice that they became pen pals. Is that like a military patrol? Like, is there some kind of deeper, more sinister side to this town? Oh, hmm. So she's very well established in the gondola trade industry. So what does Akari actually do? Like, her job is just to practice, right? And take some sort of exam, I presume. Otherwise, she's just chilling in the city, doing grocery shopping. Mm. How to break up the monotony of a day. That is the ultimate challenge. Let's go. He's got his own little gondola. That's a very spoilt cat. She's gonna fall, isn't she? So she is an incurable optimist. Always looks on the right side of things, if a little bit klutzy. Is that another company? Oh, so is this the love story that that this show is going to be centered around? The romance between these two cats? Why are the cats the presidents? Oh, wow. That is like night and day compared to the headquarters for the Aria company. Oh, there are like male gondoliers too. Kime means like princess, right? Oh. So she's the daughter of a really rich old family, I guess. Maybe that's why she's a bit distant and a bit colder. Because she's been treated like, at arm's length her whole life since she was born. Yeah, I'd like to know that. Oh, so it's some kind of mythology? Oh, I like her. Akira? No, wait, that's the main character's voice. Singing. Oh, she's talking about Aika, not Alicia. Okay. Oh, she knows Alicia. Oh, this is a very fiery couple. Why didn't she go work under Alicia then? Orcs. Oh, yeah, now she's got it. I feel like this argument has happened many times in the past. Drama. Okay, so this is very much like a show about personal dramas, probably not so much political or military. Maybe. Still early. There must be some guild rules or something against that. I like that they take care to make sure you see the smells wafting off the food. That face. Athena from Orange Planet. Oh. Okay, that's how they all know each other. Akira. Isn't that very close to the name of our main protagonist? I'm still sorting out the names, guys. Just different people work with different teachers. Oh. But like friendly rivalry, right? I wonder if Alicia has a dark side to her, or I guess a more complicated side, instead of being this perfect character. So why didn't she end up with Alicia then? It's beautiful sunset. Akari and Akira. Okay. Also, I guess her family owns the Himeya company, and so it's just natural for her to join that one. Aika probably needs that tough love though. Whoa. Oh, backstory. She got outshone. And that's where Aika got it from. That is infuriating though. Like, someone who is just unflappable. Oh god. She's gonna lose on purpose. Mm. It's all a show. They really love each other. Yeah. Oh, they know each other so well. Yeah. That is something really valuable if you've only ever grown up with people who treat you like you should be wrapped in bubble wrap. Oh, those courtyards. And the reflection as well. It's true though. Oh, even she has doubts. Just talking about her, yeah. There we go. With a little gem of wisdom. Oh, that's nice. Okay, just to recap the characters that we've come across so far, because I do still find the names slightly confusing, especially between Akari, who is the main girl, and Akira, who we just met this episode. So it's Akari, Akira, and then Aika, the other apprentice, and I guess Alicia is easy. The other thing I'm really curious about as the more we watch this is whether or not, because at the moment, each of the characters feel kind of designed to be more one dimensional than is the norm. Like the main focus of the show really is the little lessons in life and the scenery, and the point is to have a nice relaxing session of just not too much drama, although we did get a little bit of interpersonal drama in this one. Yeah, so I do wonder if we get more fully rounded characters, and if not, I guess how different that would feel to not have that. Probably the most one-dimensional character is Alicia so far. I mean, she's just the infallible, perfect sweetheart of the show, which is fine. You know, not every show has to be super complicated in terms of character, but yeah, I don't know. If it's a different kind of show for sure. Aria is a very different kind of anime. I'm quite intrigued. Thank you to whoever it was that recommended it to me way back. I honestly feel really good and light watching Aria. I almost feel like I'm too much of a cynical person to really deserve to watch such a surprisingly positive show, which is so weird, but also I'm glad to be trying something that's so far from another anime like Steins Gate, which I really love, or Made in Abyss. I suspect, and I may be wrong, that some people might find Aria too sugary and actionless, which I would completely understand. But also, I feel there is a time and a place for the type of show where the focus isn't necessarily on any conflict or even plot lines, but it's more a meandering through a fantastical place that from time to time reminds you of some of life's important lessons learnt through characters that approach life from a different perspective, and at least through Akira, not Akira. See, I always get her mixed up with Akari. Yeah, just life's important lessons learned through characters like Akari who are so optimistic in their outlook. I will have to watch a few more episodes to be sure, but also I suspect this will be a series that people will want to come home to and just relax to with a drink in hand, to sort of escape what can sometimes be a really tough world. Bonus points for Aria 2 being a feast for the eyes. Like, a lot of us are still living in lockdown or lockdown like conditions. So to be able to travel vicariously to Neo-Venezia through this show is a pretty big plus as well. Several things jumped out to me right away that I liked a lot about Aria, and I mentioned some of them before, but in no particular order. The music. I am so surprised at how well the music fills out the story and the feel of Neo-Venezia. It is hopeful and soaring when it has to be, or optimistic and playful, particularly with the bossa nova type tracks, but also in the softer parts of the story when the characters are reflecting on what they've learned about the city or themselves or about life in general. There are these beautiful romantic piano tracks that convey that emotion. Just listening to the soundtrack made me want to go and transpose them to piano and play them for myself. Also, I know I've raved a lot about the OP already, but I was literally in awe the first time I heard that OP while watching, the sweeping views of the city. Because there is, well, the whole song is really, really nice, but there was that random use of the major pentatonic scale when it leads into the chorus, which was so crunchy and so satisfying and sweeping because it didn't start on the root note, but actually on the major third of that pentatonic scale. And if I get a chance to, I would love to listen to it in full and sort of, I guess, tease it out on the piano and just figure out why it sounds so goddamn good because, yeah, it's just a beautiful track. What else stood out for me? I said Van Gogh, but it's more like Monet-esque backdrops of Neo-Venezia, including all the shots of the sea, the worn down European style buildings with the really beautiful archways and the canals as well. It's a very faithful replica of Venice, and I sort of wonder if the illustrations are based on actual locations in Venice, which would really tickle me. I also like that they're working in some mythology around the city and Aqua into the story, like why it is that they have cats as presidents of these Undine companies. I love that when we follow the characters around in their gondolas, we're also discovering more and more corners of Neo-Venezia. At times it's pure eye candy, but also I'm hoping that the show builds on that mythology because I feel a place like Neo-Venezia would have a ton of hidden secrets to just waiting to be discovered, and that would be a really interesting aspect to dig into. The story itself is quite intriguing. I like that there's the overall plot of Akira, Akari training to become a proper Undine and maybe one day succeeding Alicia in that. But also each episode has a neat self-contained little moral of the story that's based on a certain character's struggle. Or an aspect of the city. Like in episode 1, where the underlying lesson was that sometimes it takes effort to learn to love something that you initially disliked or that, you felt was really difficult. So for that little girl, it was the miracle of learning to love the city that her sister had told her so much about, and yet she herself had never had the chance to see, and so she ended up hating it. It was also a lesson, I think, in that for someone who really probably struggles with making friends, I found new friends in Akari and Aika. And the deeper lesson there is also that friendships and relationships are miracles in themselves. Sometimes they take effort to develop and also to maintain, but also once you have them and they're secure in your grasp, they become the most precious possessions that you could ever have, I guess. For episode 2, it was really simple, but I liked that they used the annual flooding of the city to get across this deeper message that it's so human for us to not really notice what's right in front of our eyes or to appreciate what we have unless there's a really drastic change to it and it casts things in an entirely different light. And obviously that was a metaphor for the relationship between Aika and Akira, both of them with such fiery personalities, which I love, but it's no wonder they clash all the time. But this relationship crisis, so to speak, only strengthened their bond because it revealed that they have actually such a deep respect for and an understanding of each other. And also Akira only wants the best for Aika, despite her really tough exterior and probably really harsh training methods. In terms of characters, Akari is like this cute, bubbly sponge who absorbs everything that's thrown at her with a smile and or like a confused but a happy look. And given that she seems to be the main character of Aria, I wonder if there's gonna be any place in this show for maybe some darker tones or more somber lessons to be had. I think because there would be some interesting potential situations where Akari's super positive attitude would be challenged somehow by some situation. I don't really know. Or maybe if most of this show will play out from Akari's perspective, maybe that will be what makes this show so unique, in that most people aren't Akaris. Like, we're not all bright-eyed and young and innocent. So maybe seeing things from her point of view and the way that she interprets events and the people that she comes across will give us more pause for thought. I do like, though, that Akari has a sort of a counterpoint character in Aika, who seems to be much less positive and more confrontational, but also still like a real softie at heart. I wonder also if their rivalry will feature in any great length later on in the show, particularly because we learnt that Alicia and Akira grew up, in a sense, rivals from childhood, but it clearly didn't impact their friendship in any negative way. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm sure we'll also meet some other minor characters later on, including that guy at the beginning who rang up the company and had an issue with Akari's so-called sideburns, which actually reminds me of other weird things that I noted. Everyone's name starts with an A, which was really weird. I don't know what's up with that. My theory, I guess, would be maybe it's part of the terraforming culture. It has only been 150 years, so technically it is sort of like frontier culture, and everyone just gives their kids names starting with A because it's, I guess, a way to distinguish yourself from the old earthers. Although that doesn't really make sense now because I was from Manhome and her name starts with AI. I don't know. Give me your theories. I would love to hear them. Also, the other thing that seems to be quite universal in Neo-Venezia, at least, is that everyone seems to have a massive crush on Alicia, also known as Ms. Ara, except for Akari, probably because she lives with her, or not lives with her, but sees her every single day and trains under her. And so I guess it sort of cuts out any potential for romantic interest if you have that master-student relationship. That's a wrap for these first couple of episodes of Aria. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you thought, whether it's your 10th time watching Aria or if you were just curious and wanted to have a first peek at it. Let me know if you loved it or hated it, or maybe you need a couple more episodes to really get a feel for whether you want to continue watching. Yeah, anything goes. Or just if you have some valuable life lessons to throw out as well for everyone, those are welcome as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching more Aria soon. And also, in case you don't already know, I am going to be watching Soundiphonium, KyoAni's Soundiphonium, and also Fate Zero at the same time as well. Yeah, that is it from me today. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.